Hi everybody. This week is the week for us to really get to work on our annotated bibliographies. In some ways, this is the week for me that's the most exciting part of the research process because this is the week where I get to answer my research question. So last week I showed you how to use Gale Virtual Reference. This week I'm going to run through what an annotated bibliography needs to look like, and I'm going to show you a few more databases. So if you look at this folder, which is in week 15, and forgive me, I haven't added in yet the annotated bibliography submission link, and of course this video hasn't been added yet, so it's going to look a little bit different on your screen because you'll have a few extra things. Right here I have the MLA resources link. Now in this folder I've got two handouts, both on our Success Center website. This handout shows you how to cite sources correctly in text when you're actually writing your paper. And we'll be referring to that quite a bit next week when you're working on outlining, and we're also going to do some activities about incorporating quotes into your paper. Now, this article is very helpful, or this handout rather, because what this handout does is it explains to you how to cite different kinds of sources in the in-text works cited page. For example, if you need to know the right way how to cite a website in your annotated bibliography, this section walks you through that. So this is a very helpful handout. Now the other thing that I've done, and this is one of the things that I noticed in your paper, is I've walked you through, I've given you a couple of examples of how to do short and block quotes, but the handout you might want to particularly pay attention to is my own annotated bibliography work in progress. So I'm going to download that and show it to you. This is what your annotated bibliography is going to need to look like. I'm going to grade 10 of the points that are coming from this annotated bibliography from how well you're able to follow MLA format. Times New Roman font, last name and page number in the top right-hand corner, the header, the title, which is annotated bibliography, and this is really important to have at the top, the working thesis. So your working thesis is not a question, it's the answer to the question that you proposed in your research proposal, or at least your best working version of the answer. That's why we call it a working thesis. So you can see my working thesis there, and then I start with my sources in MLA format in alphabetical order. Notice A here, B there. I've used the hanging indent, and then I've written a paragraph of annotation after each source. So an annotation does two things really briefly. It tells me what the source is and how you might use it in your essay. Now notice I've only got two sources here so far from Gale Virtual Reference. I'm going to need some more to complete my annotated bibliography because you have a requirement of at least 5 sources. So where can you go for help to get more sources? Well, I want to call your attention to our Ask Poe the Panther Librarian. We'll have a librarian, actually we have had since the beginning of the course, a librarian embedded in the class, and so you can ask your questions and Poe the Panther Librarian will answer them. A couple of other databases that I like using on our Chafee Library website, and again, to get there, you go to our college main page, which is taking a while for me to load, and from there you click the library link, the articles and database list, and now you have a list of articles and databases. You already know how to use Gale. Our ebook collection is another great resource for you because we have tens of thousands of books. You log in with the same information that you use to register for classes to access your Chafee View page. And here we are. Now I am studying the benefits of preschool, and I'm going to see if we have any books about preschool. Sure enough, 307 books. Well, I'm interested in the benefits of preschool. So let's see if that narrows my search a little bit. 12. Yes, definitely does. And so uh, this looks like some of these books could be helpful for me. I can click on the links and read the abstracts. Let's say I'm interested in this book. I'm going to read the abstract. Say I wanted to cite it in my annotated bibliography. I can scroll right down here, and there is the MLA citation that I can just copy and paste right into my annotated bibliography. The other great thing about these books is that you can do a search within the book. Let's say that I wanna specifically read about kindergarten for some reason. And you can see it's mentioned twice in the book, and I can go right to those pages. So ebooks is great. The other database that I wanted to show you is Academic Search Complete. Now, Academic Search Complete is probably our best database for finding peer-reviewed journal articles on a wide number of sources. So let's go with preschool again. I'm going to make that a subject search. I want to look at benefits. I'm going to make that a subject search too. And let's see what I come up with. 2 articles. Pre-K makes a difference in learning. Well, that sounds like it could be a good one for me. Parental benefit policies and gender division of labor. I don't know if that's going to be as relevant. Let's see if I don't make benefits a subject. And let's see what I have here. 297 articles. Wow. Preschool and benefits, and maybe I want to add in another search term to narrow it down a little bit. Maybe I want to look specifically at, oh, it's recommending reading comprehension, and see if that narrows things down a little bit. Yes. Interesting. Kindergarten impacts of a preschool language focused intervention. Maybe I want that one too. Okay, I'm going to go up to my folder. I'm going to look at what I have. I've got 2 sources. I can email them to myself. And when I email them to myself, I can ask that the citation be sent in MLA format. So already I've found 3 articles that I could potentially use in my annotated bibliography. Of course, only as I read them and digest the information there am I going to be better able to start working on my essay, working towards that thesis. So hopefully this was helpful for you. Do remember that this is the last week that you have to do a DLA, whether that's on the cow or in person. And as always, please email me with any questions. Next week, we're going to be working on outlining and drafting, beginning to draft your paper. And then the first draft of the research paper will be due at the beginning of week 17. And then the final draft at the end of week 17, with a brief finals week, week 18, in which you're going to write a final essay that is going to ask you to reflect on your experience in the course. Okay, everybody, I believe that's everything. Great work, and thank you.